We are tracking Tesla shares as they are back in the green after initially tumbling after hours yesterday. CEO Elon Musk is facing new pressure from the SEC after yet another tweet has landed him in hot water. Yesterday, the SEC asked a judge to hold Musk in contempt for violating a statement that required him to get approval from his company before communicating information to investors. That settlement was tied to Musk tweeting about take-private plans in his now infamous funding secured tweet of yesteryear. But now in question is a tweet from 2 weeks ago in which Musk commented on projections for Tesla deliveries in 2019. After tweeting, Musk quickly corrected his estimate to claim Tesla would deliver 400,000 cars for the year. A federal judge has given Musk until March 11th to explain why he should not be held in contempt of court. For more on the saga, we're joined by Gerber Kawasaki Wealth and Investment Management CEO Ross Gerber. Ross, as a Tesla investor, what do you make of the latest move by the SEC, and does it change your stance on the company at all?
You know, I had a long night pondering the ignorance of what's happening over tweets and Tesla. And, you know, with so many things going right for Tesla, it's just such an unnecessary distraction. And then I get in my car this morning and I'm like literally surrounded by Model 3s on the way to work. And I'm like, what is this guy doing? Just shut up, Elon. You know, your company's doing great. The story is about this car and expanding in China. And now he's in a tit for tat with the SEC over a nonsensical tweet that means nothing. You know?
Well, you mentioned kind of tit for tat. I mean, to Musk's credit, he pointed out his latest tweets did not revise any projections that weren't within the range he previously discussed on the company's latest earnings call. But as you mentioned, tit for tat, I mean, just looking at it, he also tweeted after that something's broken with SEC oversight. So he is clearly fighting back on this. And as an investor, it sounds like you're fed up, but are you starting to worry about the way that this company is run, since that settlement was supposed to change things at Tesla?
You know, the settlement did change things for the better at Tesla for the most part, and I think the SEC had acted in the best interest of its shareholders, and I think the SEC needs to protect Tesla's shareholders, and not just damage the company because of Elon's personal mistakes. But that being said, you know, this is the weakest thing I've ever seen in history as far as like a contempt of court case. But, you know, I also think when you say mean things to regulators, they're going to go after you. And that's the lack of or humility or understanding of the game that he doesn't want to play that is ultimately just hurting Tesla and his mission. And that's the part that bothers me. If Elon's so concerned about climate change and the mission, then he should easily get off of Twitter, you know?
Yeah, Ross, a lot of the big bulls out there for Tesla, they love Elon Musk. They say that he is behind the vision of the company. He's behind the operations of the company. As you take a step back, what do you think the odds are that Elon Musk will actually be removed as CEO? I mean, do you even think that that is in the realm of possibilities?
I don't think it's in the realm of possibilities with the current board, but, you know, this is what I was thinking about. I was like, honestly, maybe I'll just take over Tesla. You know, if I was CEO of Tesla and Elon was chief engineering person, and I could just go on instead of 10 TV shows a day explaining his ridiculous behavior, I could just tell the Tesla message like I end up doing every day, you know, I think the company would be better off. And, you know, so that's why the stock's up today, I guess. Maybe whatever outcome the SEC does is probably a positive for Tesla. If they slap him on the wrist and cost him a bunch of money, he'll just have to refinance his houses again and pay for it. And if they remove him as CEO, maybe Tesla's better off. But it doesn't change the fact that this is a very good company in a great position with unbelievable growth and a phenomenal product that's a game changer. So as an investor, I'm not changing my position currently, and I wish Elon could just grow up.
So there's really only one Elon Musk, and there's a generation of CEOs coming after him who are used to this kind of living out loud and online, and, you know, Elon's got a very seat of the pants kind of approach. But I get the feeling that culturally we're seeing a lot of business leaders coming up behind him who might look a lot more like Elon Musk than some of the forebears.
I wonder if we just speaking to one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I've gotten into trouble. I got a client coming in here, you know, in 10 minutes who didn't like me calling Bernie Sanders a communist. And I have my staff tells me all the time, look, maybe that was too much. But I listen to them and I delete it or I try to be better because I do represent my organization,
Sure.
And I'm in business. I'm not in I don't need the adoration of my fans that clearly Elon needs.
Well,
I have a band.
I think that's one of the major. I don't know. That's great, but I think that's one of the major concerns in terms of what investors are talking about here, because we look at the changes to the board that you mentioned, and Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison was brought on with a lot of people hoping he'd reel Elon Musk in. At this point, I mean, you say that it might be a good thing that Elon Musk's leave, but we saw the stock crater when there were questions about Elon Musk being taken out of that post. So how can you say
I don't
that
want
might be a
him to
good
be
thing?
taken out of CEO. I don't. I'm
Okay.
just saying that if that happened, which I think the likelihood is very, very low, like less than 5%. I don't know. Maybe the company's better off, but I don't want him leaving Tesla. He is the genius behind Tesla. I don't love him like in love. I'm an investor. I love that he's made me a lot of money in the past, but he hasn't made me money in the last year, and he's caused me a lot of stress. You see, there's gray hair here.
Yeah.
This is Elon's streak right
Caused
here.
you and a lot of shareholders a lot of stress.
Yeah,
And I'm
not just
tired
you.
of it. Honestly, I'm tired of it. The company is so good. It's in such a good position right now. Like, just once again, just be quiet and talk about the good stuff. But to his credit, I don't think he had any intent to get in trouble or mislead
Well, we'll have
people.
to see.
He was.
We'll have to see
he
about
just
that. He's got until
tweeted.
March 11 to prove that that is not the case.